And we'll get going. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. This is the 26th of September, 2024, and we're going to take a look at all things assessment for the middle schools. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and getting this slideshow going. So just if you have questions, please feel free to jump in. So kinds of things that we're going to talk about today. Because I'm recording this, and I know that everyone here is probably familiar with all of this, but I do want to record this so that anyone new coming in at the middle school will have an opportunity to find this information. So we'll review the resources that are available. Then we'll jump into the screeners, make sure that if there are any outstanding questions before the screener window closes, that we'll address those. There have been several, how shall I put it, little quirks of the system that we've uncovered this year. We'll talk about climate survey. We'll also get into the Apple for DLI grade 8, as that is going to be kind of about a month out from now. Once again, just introducing ourselves. My name is Tim Peterson. I'm the Director of Assessment for the district. On my team, which we are a part of the Research Assessment and Improvement Department, is Sarah Wallner, Assessment Technician, and Jamie Anderson, who's a Program Assistant. And the support that we get from other central office departments includes Stacy Will from Student Services and Ben Kolash from Multilingual Education. So as we go through the year, this is probably the core group of people that will be hanging out. If you have questions, make sure that you ask them, and we've got experts who can pretty much help with any of those questions. So let's dive into the resources and take a look at the assessment page. Again, we have an assessment department page or assessment team page. There are two sides to this. One is the public side, and one is the staff only side. The public facing side is a side that contains a good deal of information. We continually work at updating it. If something is out of date and you notice that, please let me know. We'll continue to work on it. There's a lot of information here at all different grade levels, so sometimes we miss something. We'll get things updated quickly. The staff only side has resources for you, and the only difference is that they're much more detailed. Information that families don't really need in order to understand what it is that their student is involved with as far as the assessment world is concerned. I am going to click open the assessment page. So again, what you'll find here, the calendars over here are up to date. The middle school for families, so it will have information for families there, as well as for staff. If you need anything about federal accountability or school report cards, it's also here under the for schools section. So I'm going to click into the staff portion. This is going to be where you can find resources as a coordinator. All right. And so this is what the page looks like that you would go to next. So this would be, you could find out information about assessments for grade 6, 7, and 8. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll find the assessment calendar and assessment coordinators resource page. So if we click on that, let's hope it takes us to the correct page. And there it is. So what you'll find on this page is the running agenda. So today's agenda is a part of that. But what we'll just do is continue to add on to that so that the notes themselves will be there for you. A little bit later on, once the recording is done, I'll be posting the slides to this page as well as the video recording. This one today is probably, again, going to be fairly short, so it'll be about 30 minutes or so. Probably most important is the assessment calendar. So as you look at this calendar, if you would like to add this to your Google Calendar, which this contains all the assessment windows for the middle school, simply look at this plus symbol down at the bottom right, and that will add to your Google Calendar. I also have meetings, these pages archived for the last few years. All right, so that's some of the resources that we have, and we'll continue to highlight those as we go throughout the year, providing you with resources so that you can do your job in supporting your staff as best as you can. So I talked about the coordinator page. So let's dive into the screeners. So first of all, iReady. Window closes tomorrow. And it seems as though things have been going pretty well. I know that I've looked at the completion rates, and everybody seems to be doing an amazing job. So thank you and kudos to all of you. Are you running into any issues or concerns? The ones that we are very, very focused on one or two students, but if you have an opportunity to share that, if you've got any concerns, let us know. I'll just pause here. Is everything going okay for you? I'm going to take silence as golden, and I know my wait time is not as good as it used to be, but we're going to continue on because we have the same thing available for Achieve 3000. So again, the window closes tomorrow. We will be getting information, data into dashboards as quickly as possible for both of these. But just wondering if you have any questions or concerns. I know that there have been some issues with dual language immersion students, but we're taking care of those one at a time because that's how it needs to be taken care of. Any questions that you have? Okay, then we're just going to keep moving. So screeners will be done for the fall as of the end of the day tomorrow. Data will be available as quickly as possible. And then we're not going to be talking about screeners again until sometime in December, when we're looking forward to January and making sure that things are in place for that. So we've got several other things to happen before that. And so let's take a look at one of those. Every year, we do a fall climate survey, and this is bookended with the spring climate survey. This is some really great information to get from your students and your staff. So the fall climate survey is students and staff, whereas the spring climate survey is students, staff, and families. So we know that the climate survey is coming up. It opens, the window for that opens on the 7th of October, which is a Monday. That's a week from Monday coming up. So the first Monday in October. It closes on a Friday, November 1st. That'll give you approximately 4 full weeks to get this, as many students and staff taking the climate survey. Please note that this will come to students individually through their MMSD email. So I'm not going to be sharing any kind of a link, but what that does is in that email, there is a student-specific link that when they take the survey, their name drops out of the database that's in Qualtrics. So they don't keep getting reminders. So students can take this once, staff can take this once, and then they won't get any reminders. And speaking of reminders, if they don't, every Monday, the Qualtrics will send out another automated email to those who are on the list who have not taken the climate survey. So if you have an opportunity, for instance, you're going to say, we're going to do this on October 15th. We're going to do this as a grade level, and suddenly your students will go, but I don't have this. So here is the subject line they can search by, and by the 15th of October, they will have had 2 emails already from that. Again, it should not be in the spam folder, but it could be. They could have automatically set that up. There's always a question from staff, especially staff who work at 2 different sites. In fact, I've had one where the staff person worked at 3 different sites. Well, let's just take the situation of 2 sites. The question is, which school do I complete this survey for? So let's say that I work, I'm going to say Cherokee and Sherman. So I split my time 60-40, 60% at Cherokee, 40% at Sherman. What will happen is I will get a survey for the school that I spend the most time at according to HR. So the data will come from HR into our system, and it will say, Tim, you have a climate survey, and go ahead and take it. And that is for the school that I spend the most time at, in this case, this example, Cherokee. What happens if I want to give feedback, good or bad, about Sherman? Unfortunately, the system will only allow you to do the one school that you are tied to, that you are linked to, or that in HR. So it'll be the school that has the majority if you have 2 different sites. If I work all the time at Sherman, then that's the school that I will have, and that's the school that I will respond to the climate survey on it. Please let me know if you have questions. I work closely with the team that is producing this and supporting it. So if there are questions, let me know. And also, please find a time for your students to participate. This data comes back to you, comes back to your school, and you can then use that data to help support your school improvement goals and a lot of other things. So this is important data. So just so you know, this is coming on October 7th. So think about when you want to provide students time to actually complete this. Usually it's less than about 30 minutes or less for the survey. And we'll have time at the end if you have any questions that cross your mind as well. Okay, for those schools that are dual language immersion, we're going to be doing the Apple assessment in grade 8 only. This will be at the end of October, just about a month from tomorrow, and it will be roughly a 3-week window. Apple is a test of language proficiency in a language other than English. So we know that from experience, our English learner students, our ELLs, take Access to show us their proficiency level in English. This is an assessment for those who are in dual language immersion to show us that how they're doing in another language other than English, specifically Spanish. And so 8th graders will be doing a complete look at their skill set. There are 4 subtests. I'll be sending out information about how to implement this at the classroom level. We'll get information about training for staff. However, it is important to note that students will need headsets. So that is the headphones with the microphone boom in order to actually complete this test, because they will be asked to record their voices. We'll get more information out within the next couple of weeks and make sure that your staff know how to get a hold of the data. All right. Now, kind of as we wind up, we've been asked to ensure that if we get requests for help, that we move them to a system called the School Support Request System. And I just want to clarify a couple things. First of all, this is a really important system. Principals are given the task of actually doing this, creating and completing a school support request. I think assistant principals can do that as well. But what this does is it comes to central office, and it's moved to the department, and that it's focused. The question is for, and then the best person to help you out gets assigned to that task. Now, this helps us as a department. And I know it seems like it's an added step, but it is. And what it does is allows us to look at and evaluate real time what the issues are and what the needs are, so that we can better support you as schools. This kind of a request is probably best used for if we're trying to find the data on this XYZ topic, or we're looking at having a data dive, and we want to make sure that we are looking at this. Is there a protocol for this? Or we need help with a dashboard. This is completely separate from the support that we provide you on a regular basis when assessments are in the field. And I just want you to know that we are here to support you. The assessment team will get you fast technical support, or as fast as humanly possible. That's human. Keep in mind that's humanly possible. Pre-test, day of test, post-test support, student level, classroom level, school level data, and the processes. So if there's an issue, please don't, like a student can't log in, or there's been some kind of a student, all my students can't log in. Is there some issues? Reach out to us. Don't send a school support request. So I just want to kind of clarify that, because we've been asked, and I know that we will ask you to use a school support request if it falls into one of those categories, like I'm looking for the data, and I want to make sure that you get the best support that you can possibly get. All right. So speaking of questions, who is on the team? How do you get a hold of us? Again, I went through the list of folks that are in support of you. And here are the phone numbers, as well as the email addresses of everybody who's working together. And in the upper right, I put a couple other additional emails. The iReady and Achieve emails go to a team, and that team is composed of both the assessment team as well as C&I folks. So if you have a question about how this works, send it to iReady at, and then we'll get the team will look at it and respond. And the question might be, and often is, something on the technical side, which is what we do, our team does. If it's on the content side, that's a question better answered by the curriculum folks. And so this year they've been really stepping up and making sure that they respond to these as well. So just wanted to give you some resources and let you know how you can get a hold of us. So I am going to, believe it or not, that's all that I've got for today. I'm going to stop recording.